Hey guys, this camera is really different. This is the Insta360 Luna Ultra, a new gimbal camera by Insta360. If you are coming from a 360 or an action camera or even a cinema camera, you might wonder what's the difference with this camera and what kind of footage is it going to create. Well, in today's review video of the Insta360 Luna Ultra, I want to show you some of the features that are pretty unique to a camera like this, and also show you what it's actually really good at, so you can understand if this camera should be added to your camera bag or you might want to skip it. This little gimbal camera probably won't replace your 360 or your action camera, but it is bringing something new to the table that you might be excited about. First, I just want to kind of introduce you to an overview of this camera so you understand what it is, and then I'll go in feature by feature and show you some of the things that it's really capable of. This is the Insta360 Luna Ultra, and it's this tiny little gimbal camera. It's got dual Leica lenses here on the front, and they're mounted on this mechanical gimbal. So as you rotate the camera, the video is actually going to stay smooth. Unlike an action camera or a 360 camera, which actually have in-camera electronic stabilization, this camera has mechanical stabilization. So it's holding those lenses nice and smooth while you film, which really allows for some more really creative filming techniques. You can record in up to 8K video on this tiny little camera, and it's got amazing features such as auto tracking, so you can just track your subject or yourself. It also has a wide aperture and autofocus, so you can actually focus on something that's close and get a really nice blurred out background. And I'll show you more about that later. If you're using it for vlogging, the built-in audio is super clear, and it also connects to some external microphones, which I'll show you guys. Plus, it's got this little detachable remote that you can use to see a preview of what you're filming, and also a microphone right here on it, so you can get clear audio even when your camera's far away. When people see this camera, the first thing they often ask is, what is this camera good for? And I think that's a great question. And my best answer to that would be, if you're just a one-person filming team and you want to go out and you want to make a video that looks creative, with blurred backgrounds, subject tracking, you can do all of this using this one camera here. So it has a lot of features that are going to allow you to basically create a video using a single camera. There's a few things it doesn't excel at, and I'll show you those at the end of this video. But for the most part, this camera can do it all. And it's really simple to use. All you need to do is just twist this little flip screen here, and it'll turn the camera on right there, just like that. It's going to level the camera, and there's different settings you can use for that gimbal depending on how you want to be able to move the lenses. You can adjust all the settings on the little screen here, and it's got these controls down here for zooming, for panning around the shot, or for starting and stopping recording. So it's really easy to use, and it's going to allow you to get smooth cinematic shots day or night when you're out traveling or just in your daily life. It's a great little camera for solo filmmaking. Also, if you've already decided and you know this camera is going to be a good one for you, I've got a beginner's guide for the Luna Ultra that walks you through all of the steps on how to use it and gives you some useful filming tips. I've also got a really useful book for the Luna Ultra, so if you do pick up this camera, be sure to pick the book up with it. That's just going to help you along the way. Now let's take a look at some of my favorite features of the Luna Ultra so you can understand if this camera is going to be a good tool for you. The first feature that really stands out to me is the stabilization, because that's really what this camera is used for. It is a gimbal camera. So this stabilization is a mechanical stabilization. It's got 3 axes, so it can stabilize the video in different directions as you rotate the camera. There are different levels of stabilization, which I'll show you more about this in the beginner's guide if you decide to get this camera. That's really what's going to allow you to get smooth video shots, whether it's in bright daylight or low light or even at night. Next is the autofocus. Now, if you're used to action cameras or 360 cameras, you know those have infinity focus, so beyond a certain distance, everything is just in focus. Well, on the Luna Ultra, you can actually choose the parts of the image that you want to focus on. That's going to allow you to blur out backgrounds and also just create more creative looking shots, because it's not just everything in focus beyond a certain distance. The Luna Ultra has 2 lenses on there. One is a 20mm 1.8 aperture lens with a 1-inch 8K sensor. So this is a really powerful super wide angle lens that you're going to use for a lot of those selfie shots or shots where things are close to you. If you do need a wider field of view, there's this little wide angle lens you can just snap right on the front. It's magnetic. It's going to give you a wider field of view here on the Luna Ultra. It's also got a second telephoto lens, which is about 60mm equivalent, and that uses a 2.0 aperture and a smaller 1/1.3-inch sensor. When you have a subject close to the lens, that's going to allow you to focus on that close subject and blur out the background, especially with those wide apertures on these lenses. That's going to create for shots that just look totally unique and very film-like. You've also got some solid zoom, so you're not just locked at a wide-angle lens. You can record in up to 6 times lossless zoom, so you're not going to lose any quality when you zoom in up to 6 times. And you can also zoom in up to 12 times, which is going to lose a little bit of quality, but you can get that closer field of view if you're looking for it. Also, if you zoom in too far, it's going to reduce the quality of the video. So I don't recommend using that 12 times zoom unless you just really need that close-up shot. When you are out there solo filmmaking, you want to be able to trust that your camera is going to be in focus. Otherwise, blurry shots don't look good. And the Luna Ultra does a great job of keeping what you want in focus. So I think that's a really powerful feature here on the Luna Ultra. Another feature that really impresses me with the Luna Ultra is the tracking. So if you are out there filming by yourself, you want to make sure that your camera is going to follow you in the shot. There's some really smart deep track features on here. So all you need to do is tap the screen here, and then you can start tracking your subject. And you can actually place yourself wherever you want in the frame. So if you tap on this little grid, you can choose where you want to position yourself in the frame. That's going to allow for better composition. And now wherever you move your camera, it's going to follow me around. So I can move it to the side and be talking to somebody and still be getting that shot of myself as I film. It's going to keep me centered in the frame or wherever I place myself using that little grid. So this is a really smart feature that allows you to be talking in a conversation, for example, or just walking around and filming yourself, and you don't have to like look at your camera and pay attention to it. You can just let it do the tracking for you. And that's one of the hugest tools that you can use for solo filmmaking. It's just gonna make it so much easier to film yourself. Sometimes it looks like a little like filming robot because it's looking at you with those two lenses. It's kind of cute. Hello. Also, if this camera is sounding like a super good camera for you, just wanna give you a few heads up of things you might encounter. So sometimes if you're filming somebody doing fast action, that gimbal just might not be able to keep up. So it's kind of hard sometimes if you're trying to move the camera quickly. That gimbal is smooth and it has a little bit of lag because it's trying to create that smoothness. So just for action sports, sometimes that can be a little tough to work with. Obviously, if you want to learn more about those settings and how you initiate the tracking, I've got all of that in my beginner's guide for the Luna Ultra. Now that you know some of the basics about what it can do, I want to share some of the specs with you guys so you know that it's capable of getting the quality you're looking for. Luna Ultra can record in up to 8K at 30 frames per second. So that's going to be super high resolution video. It also can record in 4K at up to 120 frames per second. And if you want really, really smooth slow motion, you can use 1080 at 240 frames per second. And regardless of what resolution you choose, it's going to give you that smooth footage because of that mechanical gimbal here on the Luna Ultra. As far as colors go, you have lots of options. It records in 10-bit color, and you can use a few different settings such as iLog, where it's going to be flat footage. You can color grade, standard, or you've got Dolby Vision, which is going to be some nice crisp video right out of the camera. Luna Ultra also has a dedicated low light mode, which is really important for this type of camera. If you're out traveling or just filming life in general, it's really nice to be able to record in low light scenes and at night. Using that dedicated low light video mode, along with the mechanical stabilization here on the Luna Ultra, you can get some amazing shots at night because it's going to bring out those colors that you need with the smooth footage that you want to get without having to do it electronically. It's doing it right here mechanically, keeping the camera stable so you have nice smooth footage. Insta360 also makes this little fill light for the Luna Ultra. So if you want some extra light on your face when you're out filming at night, this is an easy way to do it. It attaches right to the gimbal just like that. The next thing I want to show you guys on the Luna Ultra that makes it an amazing solo filmmaking tool is this detachable little remote right here. So you can just pull it right off the camera. The gimbal is still going to keep functioning. You can see right here, it's just pointing right at me no matter where I point the camera. You've got this little screen here and you can use that to actually control your camera remotely. So if you want to set your camera down and still see what you're filming, you can do that. You can also change the settings there. Plus there's a little microphone right here on the top, so you can still get clear audio. Even if your camera's far away, you can carry this with you and get clear audio. It's a pretty brilliant little device, and if you don't want to use it, you can just stick it on the camera, just like I showed you before, and use it just like that. But it's there for you when you need it. One of the huge benefits of a camera like this too is the clear audio. So if you are talking, vlogging with your camera, you want to have clear audio so you can narrate your shots. Well, there's great in-camera audio right here with a built-in wind guard. So this is the audio straight in the camera here. It's a pretty windy day. I'm kind of sheltered from the wind. You can hear that it's got really clear audio straight in the camera. So you don't even really need an external mic. Like I showed you, you can also record with this little mic separated so you can keep it closer to you even when your camera's further away. If you do want even better enhanced audio, the Insta360 Mic Pro has tons of great features for clear audio. So if you do want to use an external audio mic, the Insta360 Mic Pro is a great option. I've got that on my chest right here so you can get an example of what this audio sounds like. And you can see I'm further from the camera and I can move around and the audio is going to stay the same. And of course, it's windy out, as it always is here. You can connect up to 2 microphones to the Luna Ultra, so you can get 2 audio tracks. Say you're 2 of you out traveling, you're walking around, or you're just having a conversation and you want to get clear audio of both people. You can use 2 of these Mic Pros with the Luna Ultra for ultra clear audio. The Luna Ultra also has quite a few other modes available, so you're not just stuck to recording video. You can also record really smooth hyperlapses, as you can imagine with this gimbal. Use this to go through city scenes, for example, or through nature and just get a really cool hyperlapse. You can also take still photos with this. And with that zoom, the blurred out background, and the autofocus, you can actually get some really great photos with this tiny little camera. It's pretty surprising, really. You can take 200 megapixel panoramic photos. You can also record 4K live photos or amazing time lapses where your camera's just stationary There's lots of options, so you don't have to carry another camera with you. If you're out there solo filmmaking, you just bring the Luna Ultra with you, and it's gonna capture a lot of the shots you want. In terms of reliability, the camera is rock solid. It's got 47 gigabytes of built-in storage, so you don't even have to use a micro SD card if you don't want to. Obviously, you can add one to increase that storage. There's up to 4 hours of recording time built in, just using the battery that's in the camera. You can also plug in this little battery power handle. That's gonna give you even longer recording times. Obviously, it's not as tough as an action camera because it is a mechanical gimbal. You don't wanna manually force that because that could break the camera. So you do wanna be careful with that gimbal there. Also, Insta360 knew people would be using this for filmmaking, so they made some really nice, easy accessories. They've got filters like this, and this is the black mist filter, but they also have ND filters, or that ultra wide one, which I showed you before. And they just snap on magnetically just like that. So it's really easy to add ND filters or any filters you want on top of the lenses here. Plus you can add on the fill light, and I also highly recommend that Mic Pro if you want really good clear audio right from your chest. So overall, you can see there's just tons of little tools available here within this camera for a lot of your filming needs. However, it's not gonna cover everything that you need. So there are a few areas where this camera is not gonna be the right one. First of all, it's not gonna replace an action camera in that an action camera is waterproof, and this is definitely not waterproof. So this is not made for rain or rough conditions. It's a mechanical gimbal that you do not wanna break. So it's a little more delicate than an action camera. However, if you are traveling and you have an action camera like the Ace Pro 2 and the Luna Ultra, you can pretty much film everything, and you're gonna get a really nice montage of shots that you can edit together into a beautiful clip. Also, this gimbal camera is not gonna replace a 360 camera because a 360 camera is really unique in what it can do. First of all, with that invisible pull. So this, you have to actually hold it or mount it somewhere, and it can follow you, but it's not gonna follow you physically as you move. Whereas a 360 camera looks like it's following you. If it's on a pole, that pole disappears and the camera appears to be floating behind you. So for some action sports like snowboarding or surfing or wherever you want to carry your camera behind you, a 360 camera is still going to have that benefit. Plus, with a 360 camera, you can record everything and pick out what you want to show later. With this camera, whatever you frame up is what you have in your shot. So just so you guys know a few of the key differences, that's one of the big ones. But if you are a solo filmer or you're traveling with your friends and family and you just want to film everybody, this camera is going to give you some really smooth, super high quality shots right out of the camera in this tiny little package. No matter what camera you're using, this is a great addition to any camera lineup, really. I love having this gimbal. I kind of miss it with some of my action cameras or my mirrorless, but it just became too bulky to carry those. And this little gimbal camera really fills that void because it gets those smooth gimbal shots in a tiny little camera. If you do think this is the camera for you, pick it up in the link in the video description below for some extra bonuses. And also get started with my beginner's guide. It's gonna help you get started with this camera and go capture some amazing footage. Plus, I've got the book, which is the perfect companion for this camera, because it's gonna help you learn those cinematic techniques and how to use this camera to get the best out of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's go over to the beginner's guide.